everybody. Welcome to the Fantasy Holic Start or Sit Show, Week 14 edition. We are not Bo. We are not Brant. We know that, but we are still here to give you advice for your start sit questions for Week 14 fantasy football. I'm Josh. He's Patrick. Patrick, how are you doing today, man?
Good. Pivotal week here. Big week.
It is a big week. For some actually leagues, it's the playoffs. I'm starting the playoffs in one league this year, so I'm kind of nervous about that. Jonathan Taylor's out. I know he's been out for a while, but I still haven't found his replacement. There's a lot of questions that I have that I might be asking your way out of. I just want your advice. But listen, guys, if you want, comment. We'll answer your starting questions as best as we can. Bo and Brant are at the Falcons game. They aren't here. So we're here to back it up. We're not the fat boys, but we definitely are. I don't know if you watched. We had a show earlier this year. We had to discontinue it for some reasons, but we definitely do know what we're talking about. And we're here to help you out. Patrick's been here all year. I've been on the Fantasy Hawks for about 2 years now. So here we are. Send in your start and sit questions in the comments below, and we will get started. But Patrick, before we get any comments, I kind of want to ask you if there's a game you're looking forward to today the most from a fantasy football perspective.
Probably Dallas, Philly, and the Chargers and the Broncos. I'm just about to give up on all of my Chargers. I'm really worried. I had high hopes for Eckler and Herbert, and then Mike Williams goes down, and it doesn't seem like it's that big of a domino to fall.
Right.
And I hope they can figure something out here late.
All right, I do too. All right, so the comments are coming in. Let's get started here. We have Johns. He says 1 point PPR, Walker or Charbonnet, then flex Dobbs or Elijah Moore. What do you got, Patrick?
Charbonnet banged his knee up, I guess, last week, and Pete Carroll said there's a lot of swelling and used a lot of Pete Carroll words. Against the 49ers, I'd rather avoid both. I'd go Kenneth Walker. Just with the risk of something flaring up with Charbonnet, one series in, one quarter in. I'd probably lean Walker there.
I would absolutely lean Walker there. I think when Walker is back, that's his backfield. I know they're both hurt. I know they're both injured, but if they're both playing or if Walker is available, I would go Walker for sure. Flex, I'm not too sure about Dobbs. To me, I know Jordan Love's been playing well, but Flacco's there. Give me Dobbs, actually. I like that matchup better. I don't like the position you're in there, John. I understand the toss-up there. What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, if Watson was playing, I'd probably go more. But with Watson out, if Aaron Jones is out, that could be a pretty good spot, especially if it's PPR. If he's talking about the same league, Dobbs could probably get 7 to 10. Might not be a lot of yards, but if it's full PPR, I'd go Dobbs.
All right, let's move on to the next one. It's Mark. He says, need 2 and a 0.5 PPR. Addison, Cooper, Myers, or Singletary. Needs 2.
I don't like Singletary versus the Jets.
I don't either. I would sit Singletary immediately. Dameon Pierce is back. He saw most of the snap share in the backfield last week, so I would sit Singletary. I like Cooper and I like Myers. This week. Those are the 2 that I would start. Addison hasn't been the same since obviously all those injuries to quarterback. So Cooper's coming back. He should be fine. If Flacco's at the helm, I think he's a must start. And Myers has been good all year. So what do you think?
I like to ridicule Flacco and his fluky Super Bowl win. That was all the Ravens defense. But man, Joe Flacco just throws the ball and he doesn't care where.
Sling it, man. Flacco's going to be 60 slinging the rock. I love it.
All these box scores, Joe Flacco has 50 passing attempts. And, give me that over Tim Boyle's 11 checkdowns. Sure, yeah. Give me a guy like Flacco over Tim Boyle. I don't know how that's even the Jets jetted that one. But, I like the potential for Cooper and Myers there.
All right, let's move on to the next one. It's Jonathan. He says, good morning. Good morning, John. How are you?
Yeah.
Find myself in a square corner here to try and lock the first round bye. Aren't you lucky? Full PPR. Do I start Drake London or Keaton at the flex? Ooh. And then how do we feel about Olave coming off the flu? I love Olave coming off the flu.
Flu game.
Yeah, the flu game. I think he seems a lot of volume this week. Not a lot of options. There, Taysom Hill's out. So I do think that it's a good week for Kamara as well. I know it's not in your question, but I do think Olave is a good, even just a volume play. I like Olave, so I would play him if you can. And as far as Drake London or Keaton, I just don't trust Desmond Ridder at all to get Drake London the football. I know Drake London's very talented, but to me, your quarterback is so connected to who you are as a fantasy football player from wide receiver position, and I just don't trust Ridder whatsoever. Keaton is seeing his snap share increase every week. I am a little worried about the fact that he doesn't really see the touches in the red zone, but I do think first of all, I do think they beat the crap out of the Rams. I do think he sees his opportunities, and I do think he has a good day. So I feel the most comfortable with Keaton.
Yeah, if you turn your volume up loud enough today, you might be able to hear Bo yelling at Arthur Smith from the what the hell are you doing? Whatever you're doing, do the opposite. Yeah, the weather in Baltimore is supposed to be pretty bad today. So I don't think, Lamar isn't a great passer to begin with, but if it's raining, it could be a lot of Keaton. I would definitely flex him.
Yeah.
And Olave, should have a good game. They're indoors, nice weather. Alvin Kamara is probably going to get 25 targets today. So him and
it's going to be whatever DFS you have. Go get Kamara.
It's that Kamara Christmas 6 touchdown game. It's looming. I think that day is today. I hope. I feel for you against Alvin Kamara today.
All right, let's move on. Johns, he says Mitchell, Hunt, Spears, or McKinnon, 0.5 PPR at RB2. What do you think, Patrick?
Mitchell. Definitely. Spears would be an awesome start if we know Henry's out, but that's Monday night. And the McKinnon CEH topic, I figured that would be on a lot of people's. Yeah, that'd be a lot of questions today. I'm sure it's coming to Edwards-Helaire versus McKinnon. Oh man, the Chargers kind of. I think they have the safest because CEH could crap out after.
Yeah.
He hasn't had more than 15 carries in a calendar year. He may not be able to. I would go Mitchell McKinnon on that one.
I would definitely go. I think he needs one. I would go McKinnon just because it's 0.5 PPR. I think that you can get some good value there. I don't think you can go wrong with Keaton. I think it's very close. Wouldn't touch Hunt or Spears. Hunt and Spears, they're both, Hunt's touchdown dependent, first of all, so you're kind of taking a risk there. And Spears, Monday Night Football, I think Derrick Henry, whether he plays or not, I just don't want to even test it right now. Monday Night Football is too important a week. I think you have two good options here. I personally go McKinnon. Patrick, you said Mitchell first. I don't think you can go wrong with either one.
Right.
Yeah. I think Keaton's safer. Let's just say
didn't really answer him.
Yeah.
I think we've seen more in the passing game from McKinnon. If Edwards, I'd go McKinnon.
Yeah, Pacheco's out. I think they're going to pass the football more, and then Mahomes doesn't really have many options. They've talked about it ad nauseum. I like McKinnon a lot this week.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Joe says need one PPR: Pierce, Singletary, Gainwell, P. Ryan, or Charbonnet. I would go Pierce. I think over Singletary. First of all, he's back. I think he had most of the snap share there, so over his own teammate. P. Ryan, I've trusted P. Ryan on multiple occasions this year. This is just not really feeling it. And Charbonnet, if Kenneth Walker's playing, I think that's Walker's backfield. So for me, I like Pierce out of everybody there. I think he's a good solid flex play this week.
Yeah, that injury designation with Charbonnet really made me fade him all over. So I go Pierce too.
All right, next is from Paul. Morning, guys. Need some help on defense choices. I have Rams versus Baltimore. I could pick up Giants versus Green Bay. Not good, and I really don't want to play Chiefs defense against Buffalo. I don't know if the Rams traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast to play Baltimore is a good thing. I do think there's a potential there they get throttled. Giants versus Green Bay. Jordan Love has looked really good the past few weeks, so that would kind of scare me. I actually don't think playing the Chiefs against Buffalo is a bad look there. I mean, I know Buffalo can have a high-powered offense, but Josh Allen turns the ball over. The Chiefs' defense is good. So I don't think that's that bad of a play, to be honest with you. Out of those three options, I would probably start the Chiefs and just kind of cross my fingers and hope that Josh Allen has one of those bad Josh Allen.
Pick six. Yeah. I I I think the weather in Baltimore is going to be bad enough for it to be sloppy. It's not going to rain all day, and it doesn't look like it'll be bad, but maybe an ugly half of fumbles, interceptions,
Yeah.
no yards allowed, no points allowed. But yeah, I agree on the Chiefs defense in a big primetime spot with Josh Allen.
Yeah, hopefully it's just not one of those like 45-42 games. We just set this guy into a buzzsaw. We're sorry, Paul.
Well,
But
hopefully
honestly,
he had like two pick sixes.
Yeah, it's a good defense, and Josh Allen's prone to turning the ball over. I know the Bills are good, but I think sometimes people are a little scared, of the Bills when they really shouldn't be. They turn the ball over a lot. So,
and this game it could be like 20-10. Like both offenses have kind of been sputtering.
Yeah. All right, here we go. It's Kevin. He says, Good morning. Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Morning. Bonjour.
I picked Bride on a bye and Taysom Hill out. Picked New and Jordan with Schultz out for Houston. Should I roll with Jordan or grab Okonkwo, Juwan Johnson, Conklin, Knox, and Everett? And he says, picked up Brevin Jordan here. He corrected himself here. I'm rolling the dice with Brevin in my leagues, so I'm just gonna go with that. If I'm being honest with you, Tank Dell's out. So a lot of people like Noah Brown this week. I'm not sure how much I like Noah, but I do think CJ's going to rely a lot on Nico, obviously, but I do think that safety valve and Brevin's going to be there. I would just go with that. I mean, the tight end position, there really aren't many high ceilings there. So if I'm going to roll a dice on somebody, I'm going to roll a dice on him.
Yeah, definitely not Juwan Johnson. He's put up like a couple zeros. I really like Okonkwo, but I think Brevin Jordan's a play this week. I'm pretty sure the Jets have allowed the most touchdowns at tight end. Yeah. If not, they're up in the top 3. So I picked up Jordan in a few places.
Yeah, and the Conklin I'm not playing. Jets. Knox, I know he's coming back, but I don't think he comes in and makes a splash immediately. And Everett, I would give a second look. Maybe he would be my number 2 out of everybody that you named. Yeah. But I'm going
Brevin Jordan, yep.
All right, here we go. Next, we go from Tony. Have St. Brown as wide receiver 1. Need wide receiver 2 in flex PPR league. Metcalf probably without Gino. Okay. Jordan Addison, Josh Downs, or Jerry Jeudy. Ooh. Man. What's 2? All right, 2 out of there. I probably go Addison and Downs.
Yeah. I'm ready to write off Jerry Jeudy forever. Like,
are you?
Like, what has he done? Courtland Sutton looks great. Russ is back. Russ is cooking. Jerry Jeudy's getting like 4 catches for 650 or 60 yards a week.
He's had 1 touchdown all year. So for me, if you're basically, this is more than just like being on a craps table and hoping for the best. I wouldn't start Jeudy. We're in week 14 now. You have 1 touchdown all year. I don't think you're a viable fantasy option. I don't even know if you should be rostered, if I'm being honest with you. So my answer is Addison or Downs.
The whole CEH conversation, it's week 14. And if you've done nothing all year, sure, volume, potential, workload, I get it. If it's a must win or something, there's no way I could rely on someone that's burnt me all year. And then you're going to get burnt again and say, yep, he burnt me.
Yeah, let's go. Tony, I would start Jordan, Josh for sure.
Yep.
All right, next we got Matt. Morning, guys. What's up, Matt? How are you? I just want to say thanks for all the advice all year. That wasn't us. That was definitely Bo and Brant. Shout out to Bo and Brant, but we're here to help you too. I'll be going to the playoffs as a 1 seed. Congratulations. So my question, Dicker or Koo? If you're the 1 seed, do you have a bye? But either way.
Both indoors.
Yeah, I'm going Koo. Dicker is the kicker, obviously, for Chargers, and right now their offense is just kind of weird. Even though the Falcons are backed by Desmond Ridder, I feel like there's more opportunity there. Koo, I think, is the better kicker.
Hopefully this comes down to like a fraction of a point, and either way,
the kickers to me are just like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. What are the matchups? Where are they playing this week again? The Falcons.
Both in home. Chargers at home versus Denver.
Give me Koo. Yeah, give me Koo. All right. Tony back again. PPR, Jake Ferguson or Evan Ingram. Whew. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
I like Jake Ferguson. I think that that game is going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be very competitive. Dak likes him a lot. He's a red zone target. Evan Ingram's good, but he scored his first touchdown last week again. And Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he might play, but we don't know what we're getting from him. And then if you do, you'll get 100% Trevor Lawrence. It's still against the Cleveland Browns defense, which is probably the best defense in the league at home. Jake Ferguson for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say if Lawrence doesn't play, oh my God, or if Lawrence does play, re-aggravates an injury in the first quarter, yeah, I'd go Ferguson there.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, what's up, man? How you doing? Which three guys do you like to fill RB1, RB2, and flexed? 1 point PPR. Mixon, Bijan, Achane, and Derrick Henry. Jeez. It's a good
Get some real problems, Ryan.
How did you get this backfield? Damn. I don't know. So definitely Henry if he's healthy. He's in there for sure. Bijan has gotten more carries through as the weeks have gone on. I like Bijan a lot. I think he's very dynamic. The 1 point PPR, I like him. And for me, Achane, man, I know Mixon played well last week and Browning played well last week, but he's still kind of a question mark to me. I don't know what that Cincinnati offense is going to look like. I do think they'll probably rely heavily on Mixon. I'm sure he'll see 20, 25 plus touches, but I don't know what that looks like. I know the Dolphins are going to move the ball. Achane is going to move the ball. I think Bijan's going to be relied upon more, and Henry's Henry. So I think Mixon's the odd man out there, but I don't think you can go wrong with any three that you pick.
Yeah, the Colts defense is banged up. EJ Speed's out. They're going to be missing a couple key players, and maybe I'm harping too much on injury potential, but man, if Henry goes out early on Monday,
I know.
Yeah, it's definitely between, and you have the fear of missing out if you bench Achane, and he has 9 carries for 175 yards. But Henry doesn't get a lot of catches historically, whereas Mixon probably does. Just splitting hairs here. Yes, Mixon, but you can't go wrong with.
Yeah.
Don't sit Achane. I guess that's.
Yeah, don't sit Achane, and I wouldn't sit Henry either. I would go in there with Henry. All right, here we go. Youssef, pick 2 of 3 in full PPR. Flowers, Garrett Wilson, London. And should I start Purdy over Stroud? Patrick, you want to take this one first?
They all 3 kind of have the asterisk of, is it rainy in Baltimore? Does Zach Wilson care today? Like,
but even if he does care, does it matter? Like, let's be.
Yeah, good point. It kind of, I don't know if you've seen the original Bad News Bears, and the dad yells at his kid, and the kid goes out there to pitch, and he's just throwing the ball like, screw you, Dad.
Zach,
That's what I'm thinking, Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I like
Zach Wilson today.
Yeah.
Man, I definitely go Flowers. The Texans defense is pretty solid also.
Yeah, it is.
Man, I definitely go Flowers. What do you think, Josh?
I'd probably go Flowers.
I think Wilson's the better player.
Wilson's better than one, yeah. You know what? Give me Flowers, Wilson, because Zach's coming back. Despite the reports that he didn't want to play and whatnot, he's a quarterback. He's fighting for his job. He's auditioning for another team because he's not going to be in New York next year. He has thrown to Garrett Wilson all year. Flowers, Wilson. To answer your second question, Purdy, would you start Purdy over Stroud? Yeah, I actually would. The Jets defense has pretty much, I wouldn't say embarrassed quarterbacks all year, but they've done well against top-tier quarterbacks all year. They've done well just from a defense standpoint in fantasy football against quarterbacks. So I would sit Stroud this week if you have someone like Purdy. Purdy's been consistent all year. I think he has a good game against Seattle. Definitely, gives you at least a serviceable day. I'm more comfortable starting Purdy this week. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Mark, what's up, man? 1, Walker or London in 0.5 PPR. 2, ETN or Chuba in PPR. And 3, Colts D or Browns D.
Wow. Josh, you take that one.
All right. So 1, Walker or London. I'm going Walker. I think as long as he's playing, I think he's the RB1 there. I know it's against San Francisco, but I just think that he's going to get the touches. I don't think Charbonnet is going to be that much of a I don't think it's going to be that much of a split in the backfield. I like Walker. I just don't trust Ritter. I would start him. Number 2, ETN or Hubbard. I would probably go ETN. I know it's against Cleveland. I know Trevor Lawrence is up in the air, but he's been too good all year for me to sit. Chuba, I do think he has a good game, but I don't feel comfortable enough starting him over someone like Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
Even if Lawrence doesn't play, they're going to rely on Etienne. He's going to get the volume. He's going to get touches. So I probably go there. Colts D or Browns D. Give me Browns D at home. They're the best defense in the league, especially at home.
At home,
with a banged up Trevor Lawrence or CJ Beathard. I think there's a good possibility there for a big day for their defense. So Patrick, you got anything else?
I agree. Walker doesn't catch a lot. That'd be my only concern. But then again, Drake London's so unreliable. And in the offense, not as a person. I'd go Walker.
You can't count him as a friend. He's never there.
He's always got your back, but and Jags won't have Christian Kirk. Calvin Ridley's been inconsistent. It could be a lot of ETN and definitely Browns D. Yeah.
It's Bo. He says, "What's up, fellas? A little thinner than the normal guys." Bo,
give it time. Give it time.
Proud. Hope you have a great time at the game. Everybody, Bo's in the house. Say what's up. They'll be back next week for the start of your playoffs, or maybe second round of your playoffs, depending on your league. But Bo's here.
If you have playoffs starting this week, you need to message your commissioner because you got really lucky that there's only 2 teams on a bye. But there's Kyler Murray, Sam Howell, Terry McLaurin. There's Trey McBride. There's a lot of people out this week that you need to email your commissioner now if you're playing this week.
Commissioners don't know. They have no idea.
They don't look ahead.
All right, let's move on here. I just lost my spot. Here we go. Boom. Who should I flex? DeAndre Swift, D-Hop, or Noah Brown?
Silence. Oh, gosh. Well, does Sauce get Collins all day? And would it be CJ Reed on Brown, or they'll probably switch back and forth? That they can't.
Personally, I wouldn't start Noah Brown. I just said start Purdy over Stroud. I don't think Stroud has a horrible day. But I do think he's relying on Nico Collins and Jordan Brevin. So I don't really would suggest starting Noah Brown. As far as D-Hop over DeAndre Swift, is it PPR? I'm leaning towards DeAndre Swift. I still think he's a running back too. I think he's an RB2. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game in Dallas. I think they're gonna try to run the football, established run. So that would be my personal choice. I just don't really trust Will Levis right now. I know he kind of came out into the scene, and had a great game. I would start DeAndre Swift, but I don't think D-Hop's a bad start. Just for the record, I don't think there's a dud coming from D-Hop. I do think that the Titans are going to have to score to keep up with the Dolphins. And Will Levis is going to be throwing the football. I just feel more comfortable with Swift.
They've been playing a lot better with Ramsey back. That'd be my only concern. I'd go Swift.
All right, here we go. Chris, morning, guys. Need to fill 2 spots for running back 1 and running back 2. My options are Saquon, Raheem, Brees, and Kenneth Walker. Thanks, guys. To me, this is easy. I think it's Saquon and Walker.
Yeah.
If Walker's playing, Raheem. Listen, I get it because of the touchdowns. The touchdowns are there. Achan's back though. Brees, just that O-line cannot block for him. He's so talented. He's so good. I know, but he just hasn't produced in fantasy football just because the O-line can't block. He's not putting up yards. So he's the definite obvious hit there. Saquon to me is a must start. And I like Kenneth Walker a lot. But I could see, I take this back. I can see a world where you start Mostert over Walker. Walker's playing in San Francisco, so that's a tough matchup there. I'm a huge Kenny Walker fan, so I'm a little biased there. But definitely Saquon.
Yeah, me too.
Any thoughts on Mostert versus Walker?
Yeah, definitely. I think we should all give. The only thing with Mostert is it seems like the Dolphins are the healthiest team in football.
Yeah.
Nobody's missing time. Everybody's healthy. Mostert made it almost the whole. I don't think he's missed. Maybe he's missed 1 or 2 games, but that's historically the joke that Mostert's not going to last long.
Yeah.
Just the workload worries me on Mostert, but then
Same.
again, the workload. Yeah, just definitely not Hall. I'd go Barkley, Walker, but there's just a lot of mouths to feed in the Miami backfield and
Yeah.
not as much competition for Walker. Definitely Barkley. Definitely not Hall. Coin flip.
All right, we hope that helped, Chris. All right, here's another Chris. Start 3: Eckler, Jacobs, Achane, Kyron Williams, Gibbs. Thanks. Oof. How did you get this team? Like, is this a 6-team league?
So somebody didn't. He got fortunate on the waiver ad for
twice
for Achane.
Or maybe
somebody didn't.
in the draft.
Yeah, someone could have. Yeah, it's possible, but awesome.
Yeah. Start 3. I definitely think you go Kyron, Achane, Eckler. Those are the 3. Gibbs is good, but Gibbs is in Chicago. It's gonna at Chicago. He's still kind of splitting time there with Montgomery.
Bears run D's very
I know the
solid.
Chargers haven't really looked good, but Austin Eckler is still in PPR, especially to me, still an RB1. Josh Jacobs just not having the year he had last year. I'd go Achane, Williams and Eckler. What about you, Patrick?
I'm this close to Eckler might be like done. Was he 28, 29? He's maybe it's just a victim of the whole offense in general, sputtering. I think the Vikings run defense has been very good this year. Start 3. Denver's defense has really turned it around since that Miami game.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then these are after we say, man, what a backfield. Then we say, oh, well, 3 of them have horrible matchups. Definitely Achane, Williams. Oh man, flip a coin on the.
Give me one.
I'd go Gibbs.
There we go. All right, Kevin, Garrett Wilson or D-Hop? I'm going to go D-Hop. I think he has a better chance of getting into the end zone. I do think that Garrett Wilson is going to see a lot of targets this week from Zach. I don't know what that manifests in. It could be 8 catches for 46 yards. So I don't think Garrett Wilson's a bad play. D-Hop, I think, is a decent play against a team that, scores a lot of points. So they're going to have to put up a lot of points. I know Jalen Ramsey's back, but I still think DeAndre Hopkins is definitely a valuable option there. I would go D-Hop.
Yeah. Hopefully it's within a point or 2.
Yeah.
Will Levis is probably better than Zach Wilson. Like I said, they'll have to keep up. Yeah, I'd go Hopkins.
All right. We got from Eric. Good morning. Good morning, Eric. Fighting for the playoffs here. Flex, Jake Ferguson or Amari Cooper. QB, Brock Purdy or Justin Fields. Ooh. I own Ayuk and Kittle for the triple stack. I could diverse with Fields, but I hesitate with him. More prone to turning the ball over. Thanks, man. Okay, Eric. One thing at a time here. Flex, Patrick, Jake Ferguson, or Amari Cooper?
Flacco against the Jags, or man, that's a coin flip. I think I'd go Cooper.
Yeah, I would go Cooper in this as well. I like Jake Ferguson a lot. I wonder who your tight end is. Kittle.
How are you flexing a?
Yeah,
shouldn't he be starting?
I would go Cooper over Jake Ferguson there. Quarterback, Brock Purdy or Justin Fields. Personally, I actually have the same quarterback situation in my league as well. I would stick with steady and consistency and go with Purdy there. Justin Fields can give you a dud. He has played better as of late. But last week, everything was kind of like short and dinky. It was you're going to get rushing yards from him, but Brock has looked really good against Seattle, a rival. I think he's going to play well. I think he's going to put up points for you. Justin just still not there trusting him yet.
Yeah.
So as far as
Kittle. Yes, Kittle. So he has Kittle and Ferguson. Makes sense.
Yeah. Would you start Ferguson over Kittle, or would you tell him to keep the triple stack with IU, Kittle, and Purdy?
Yeah, I'd keep that triple stack. But if Geno's out, the Seahawks aren't going to do much. So then they may not. Probably reading into it too much. It could be 21-3 at halftime, and there's just no need. They might pull McCaffrey. But I hope Geno plays, and I hope he has a great game to keep it close.
Yeah. I like Cooper and Purdy, and honestly, I might think about starting Ferguson over Kittle, if I'm being honest with you. That's where I think you might get Jake in there, but that's just me.
Yeah.
All right, next is from AJ. Adams, Olave, Rasheed Rice, DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, Alexander Madison, Zach Moss, Gus Edwards, Bijan. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flex. I'm in the playoffs. You're like, okay. Oh, okay. I like Olave. I think him coming back, I think you see a lot of volume this week. No Michael Thomas, no Taysom Hill. I think he's going to get force fed this week. Adams for sure. I think it's Olave and Adams. DK going against San Francisco. Don't really like that. Rasheed Rice, I think he's seeing a lot more targets, but I still don't trust any Chiefs wide receiver as of now. DJ Moore's hit or miss. You could start him and he can do nothing. So I would go Olave, Adams. As far as your running backs, give me Zach Moss. Give me Bijan. Zach Moss has been a stud every time he started this year. He's an RB1 in my opinion, especially Jonathan Taylor out. I know Gus, does get in the end zone, but with Keaton coming on strong, I really don't think he's someone you should be starting over someone like a Bijan Robinson. And Alexander Madison, he's played a little better as of late, but he's not someone who I would put in this conversation. So for me, Adams, Olave, Bijan, Zach Moss. Patrick, do you think of anything?
He's got 2 flexes too.
Oh, 2 flexes? Oh, you do the flexes then. Take 2 of the people who I just said.
Depending if it's PPR or not. Madison has played better.
Yeah.
I might go like Rice and Madison in the flex.
Okay.
Mahomes' best target, most reliable target lately. He's playing well. He's looking like the only option there, especially if Kelsey has another average. Yeah, I'd go Rice and Madison.
Yeah, AJ just said it is PPR. It is PPR. I would like DJ Moore, but the thing with the Bears now, I don't know if it's going to be the same game plan as it was last week. Last week, it was just kind of like these short dink and dunk passes, except for that last play that Justin Fields had over the middle. If they can do that all game, I would love DJ. But I would hesitate giving advice like, yeah, definitely start DJ Moore when I don't feel confident that he's going to that Bears offense.
I'd like to see what the Vikings can do with Jefferson back, the first game with Josh Dobbs. Maybe that whole offense takes Jefferson and Addison and Hawkinson might be able to take a ton of pressure off the run game. And Dobbs has a mobility that Cousins never had.
Yeah.
So it could be like a big spot for Madison, or it could just be Alexander Madison.
Right.
But I like to roll the dice. It's a tough time to roll the dice. But I think Madison has a better than average game.
Okay. All right. From Adam, pick one, Levis or Carr.
Sorry, Adam. Carr.
Yeah. Carr.
25 catches by Alvin Kamara, and if some of them are passing touchdowns, it's going to look like Carr had an incredible day. He probably didn't.
I would go Carr there. I'm a little more comfortable with Carr than Will Levis on the road against the Dolphins. Pick one, super flex. King Henry, Levis, Carr, 0.5 PPR. I want to say King Henry. I know it's against 2 quarterbacks, and in Superflex you want to start 2 quarterbacks. We don't know what Henry's situation is. I do think they are going to be playing a lot of catch up against the Dolphins, which means Levis is going to be throwing the ball. I would start Carr. I think Carr's a safer bet there, because Carr can have a decent week. It could give you like 18, but like Henry can give Henry might not see that. I don't know. I would start Carr. I'm more comfortable starting a second quarterback in Superflex personally.
Yeah,
that's me.
It's a good problem to have.
But Henry, who are your running backs?
Who are your running backs in these places?
Who are your running backs for you're leaving out Henry? So I was trying to get Henry in somewhere. It doesn't have to be super flex.
If they try to the Titans should definitely try to keep Miami off the field as long as possible.
Yeah,
that's where Henry needs to come in and dominate.
Yeah, but once they're down 14-0, if they're down, that's.
Here's how you justify Henry in the Henry might have a touchdown pass. Doesn't he have like 8 or 9 in his career?
Prop edit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Tony again. Brandon Cooks, Jordan Addison, DK Metcalf, pick 2. Jordan Addison, to me, with Jefferson back, I do think Dobbs has an easier day, and I think that helps Jordan Addison, even though he hasn't had the stats. Brandon Cooks has been sneaky, man.
Eagles' pass defense is bad.
Yeah, and the Eagles' pass defense is bad. I know DK is a 1. Going against San Francisco, though, we don't know if Geno's probably not going to play, so that would make me really uncomfortable there. If this was a normal week, I would say absolutely DK. But if this was my team, I would take the risk, and I would start Brandon Cooks.
Very fortunate. These are all late games.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of time to see if Geno is active or not. But I'd go Cooks, Addison for the time being. And
Yep. All right, Jennifer, what's up? Nico, Puka, Montgomery, or Rice? Pick 2 PPR. What do you think, Patrick?
Man. I don't like Montgomery there.
Okay.
I want to say Rice, Puka, but I'd hate to sit Collins in that matchup. Let's say this is like the ascending Nico Collins, and he somehow manages to beat Gardner on a play or two.
Yeah.
Maybe Stroud is who we thought he was. The safer play, give me Puka and Rice.
Yeah, I think Puka and Rice here. Against CJ's going against that Jets defense, and more importantly, Nico is going against that Jets defense and Sauce Gardner. And if not Sauce, it's DJ Reed on the other side. Not saying he's going to be locked down. I think CJ might have a decent day. But if I could, I would start someone over Nico, and I like Puka there over Nico. I would hesitate with Montgomery, but they are in Chicago.
Those are tough matchups.
Bears defense, yeah, it's a tough matchup to begin with, and he's sharing with Gibbs there. So yeah, I say Puka and Rice. All right, we got Adam. Pick 1. Cooks, Addison, London, 0.5 PPR. Man, I like Cooks this week, but I'm going to say Addison here. I don't trust London. I don't trust Ritter mostly because that's why I don't trust London. I think Addison he hasn't had a great day in a while. I think Dobbs has a bounce back game. I think that offense has a bounce back game. So I'm going to say Addison. But I like Cooks. For the record, I like Cooks.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, Michael. Pollard or Mixon? I have Kamara and Achane. What do you think, Patrick?
Mixon
over Pollard.
Pollard has played better, but Eagles' run D is tough.
Yeah.
Eagles are tough. And the Colts are not as tough. So I would I'd go Mixon there.
Yeah, Mixon is definitely going to see at least 20, 25 touches, I think, in some sort of way. He had a good week last week. I'm not sure if that offense is going to be as potent as it was last week, but I do think Mixon is probably going to be the centerpiece of it. So
that could be a fun game. That's a fun game. I didn't like Chase Mixon.
Browning. No. It could be fun.
Always Minshew's involved.
I just don't know if last week was an aberration or not. So I'm hesitant to rely. Like, for instance, if you have a T Higgins, I'm not starting T. You know what I mean? I would start Mixon, Chase, obviously.
Browning looked good. You look better than Tim Boyle.
Yeah, that's for sure.
maybe better than Desmond Ritter.
I mean, that's not hard. Moving on, Jennifer. Flowers, Gibbs, Myers, Higgins, Sutton. Pick 2. Well, I just talked about Higgins, so I'm definitely not saying Higgins. I think Sutton's is a borderline wide receiver 1. If he's had a great year, I think Sutton's 100% in there. Flowers with a great game was it last week? A couple weeks ago. Gibbs, I like Gibbs in the long run. I don't know if I like him this week. I'd go I'd go Sutton and Flowers. To me, I think Flowers is like a wide receiver too. I think Myers is as well. I just kind of like Flowers more. I like Baltimore more this week at home.
Yeah, I think Myers would have more catches, say if it's full PPR.
Yeah,
The floor, but Flowers could have a big week, like a breakout week. Yeah, I lean Flowers, Sutton also.
yeah. All right, here we go. Jeff, 0.5 PPR. Injuries, buys leave you a choice at running back 2 for Brees, Foreman, or McKinnon. Personally, I like McKinnon this week. I do think the Chiefs are going to be passing a lot. I think it's a high-scoring game. With Pacheco out, I don't think they're going to be running the football much. I know CEH is set to start, but I don't think Andy Reid's going to have it in his game plan to kind of rely on him, which means McKinnon's going to be back there. You have Rasheed Rice, but outside of that and Kelsey, the Chiefs passing game has struggled, and I think that's where McKinnon comes in. They have a lot of red zone plays for McKinnon. They use him a lot in the red zone. I think he actually probably scores a touchdown this week. I like McKinnon a lot this week. I think people are kind of undervaluing him.
Yeah, and if, say, CEH stumbles, that backfield is all McKinnon's. Hall, right. The Texans' defense has been pretty solid. D'Amico Ryans might be coach of the year. Foreman splitting. Roshan's back. Khalil Herbert's back.
Roshan played most of the game last week, so I don't know what it looks like there. Yeah.
And Foreman's been really banged up. I want to say he was like inactive and then out with injuries. I definitely. McKinnon has the potential for a lot of work.
Yeah. I feel for you, but I don't think it's that bad, man. I don't think it's that bad as your RB2. I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. T-Law or Desmond Ridder? If T-Law's playing, T-Law. Wilson or Bryce Young?
Ooh, I'd pick up Wilson for Ridder.
Zach Wilson.
In a heartbeat.
Zach Wilson, not Russell Wilson.
Oh.
Big difference.
My heart started racing there.
I would start T-Law. If T-Law goes, I'd start T-Law. Listen, it's a tough matchup on the road in Cleveland, but I would start T-Law.
And remember correctly, the Browns' run defense is really, really good. I think the passing defense isn't as strong as might have to throw all day.
Yeah, I mean, I think if T-Law plays, I think they might be a little conservative with their play calling. And I think you see a lot of ETN, but I just don't. With Ridder, I mean, Ridder could throw 2 interceptions in the first half and then maybe benched, and Heineke's back in there.
Just keep your phone near you if T-Law's out.
He plays well at home, but I don't think Ridder's a terrible start. I just don't trust him, so I would start T-Law. All right, we are updated, man. We caught up. We got about 15.
A lot of people clinch a playoff spot, don't have anything to play for this week.
Yeah, not at all. So the CEH Jerick McKinnon, that's something that I thought would come up a lot. Let's say you have CEH. I'm asking for a friend. Okay. Say you have CEH and you have a Breece Hall or an AJ Dillon, for instance. Would you start a CEH over those type of running backs?
I can't fathom that if CEH has been in the system for years, he was a first-round pick, almost immediately displaced by Isaiah Pacheco.
Right.
Jerick McKinnon is 30 years old. He missed 2 years with a knee injury. He's getting all the passing work. Surely, with the best coach in the NFL, if Clyde Edwards-Helaire was worthy of playing time, he'd be out there somehow, somewhere, and he hasn't played. If this was week 3, sure. Yeah. I cannot. I have to sleep tonight, and if I lost a matchup because I started Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I'd feel sick to my stomach. I don't like taking a risk that big. Scared money doesn't make money, but I'm going to hold my scared money close and hope for Helaire might get 15 carries and 5 or 7.
Yeah.
Low end RB2.
Okay. And another question I wanted to ask you is this seems to. Oh, we got another. Here we go, Jennifer. Puka or Devontae Smith? Oof. I like Puka, if I'm being honest with you. Cooper just isn't the same. Puka seems to kind of be separating himself this year, at least. I don't know if Cooper is just unhealthy or what it is, but lately it just seems like that's like Puka's the wide receiver one there in Los Angeles. I think it's going to be a really rough time in Baltimore for those guys, but I do think that Stafford's going to be slinging the rock. So, Puka can have Stafford can have a bad day, but Puka can have like 8 to 10 receptions, maybe a touchdown. Yeah. But I don't think Smith is a must start in most leagues. So you have a good problem there.
Yeah. So if the NFL draft was today, where does Nacua go? He definitely doesn't go in the 5th or the 6th.
Oh, that I don't know.
Second, third round?
Yeah, you can second at least. For sure. Yeah. He's been incredible this year.
He is incredible. Man, I don't know where the Rams, if they even have a pick next year. I don't know if they've accumulated any more after trading them for
they gave everything away, man, for that Super Bowl. What's up, Selena? She says likely or Ingram. Personally, I would go likely this week just because I don't know what Trevor Lawrence is going to look like. Their play against Cleveland, who again is the best defense in the league in my opinion, at home. Isaiah Likely to me is somebody who has potential to be a tight end one, on the right day. At home against the Rams, I think it's a game where I think they should win comfortably and have the offense has a good day. So Likely is the answer for me.
That's a good problem to have. I read something that Likely, like the amount of snaps he played, routes he ran were like elite numbers.
Yeah.
And it was only his second or third start in place of Andrew. So I would, Likely has a lot of potential this week.
Yep. All right. Comes from Colby, all caps. So he's yelling, help, morning, full PPR, Monty versus Bears or Jacobs versus Vikings.
Full Monty.
What's up, Colby? Thanks for joining us. Let's see, PPR, Monty versus Bears or Jacobs. I go Jacobs versus the Vikings there. I like that matchup better. Again, Monty is splitting the backfield there with Gibbs, and even though they both have been successful, the Bears defense is good at home, cold weather, versus with Jacobs dome, comfortable Vikings. I go Jacobs there, but I don't think Monty's. I think if you decide to start Monty, I don't think you'd be disappointed. But if I had to choose one, Jacobs. What do you think?
I'm looking at Bears have allowed the 3rd fewest yards, and the Vikings have allowed the 6th fewest. So you're probably leaning on the pass catcher, and if Gibbs is taking the pass catching, definitely Jacobs.
Yeah. Thanks, Colby.
You're welcome, Colby.
You're welcome, Colby. Anyone who comments in all caps is going to get their question yelled at.
We're going to get all.
Might be a mistake. Now everyone's going to do a caps.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
All right, here we go. Thank you both and good luck. Thanks, Colby. Good luck to you as well, man. Thanks for joining the show. Appreciate you. So Trevor Lawrence going into Cleveland. What do you think that looks like for the Jags positional players there from a fantasy football perspective? And I've been hammering home that, T-Law's back, but I don't know if I would start anybody really outside of ETN. Do you think that's fair?
I didn't. I should have been a little more prepared. How much of Ingram's work came with Beathard? How much did Beathard play? It could be a huge Ingram game if it's Beathard.
He got his touchdown before Beathard came in.
Okay. It might fading. Yeah, definitely ETN. Ridley's been. I don't know what he's been. Yeah. Old, inconsistent, rusty, bad luck. He's in the CEH boat of how do you trust it? I trust Ridley more, but time's running out, and I just have to sleep tonight. If I had a playoff spot on the line, and
all right, here we go. Got another one. Selena, Wilson or Lawrence? I'm more comfortable with Wilson this week.
Russell or Zach?
If it's Russell going into Los Angeles, the Chargers will let except for the Patriots apparently, but the Broncos are going to put up points. That Chargers defense should be better than they are, but they will let you, even if the Chargers go up early, they will let you back in the game. I like Sutton this week. I think Wilson should be fine. Maybe 2 touchdowns, solid day, 200-something yards. Not going to give me anything explosive, but Lawrence in, Cleveland against that defense, banged up. I just wouldn't trust it.
Wilson.
Yeah. Wilson. What do you think of Russ Wilson this year, man? Quietly under the radar, having a decent season.
Yeah, it's good to see him bounce back. I hate to see him go out the way he did last year.
It was sad, man. He fell off a cliff. Yeah. It's like, what the hell was that? He's bounced back a little bit.
Yeah, good to see Courtland Sutton having a good year too. He had a lot of promise for a long time. I kind of been thrown away by the fantasy community, but him too.
I had a hot take last year on this network. Actually, I was like, "Yeah, Courtland Sutton's going to be like a top 10. He's going to finish a top 10 wide receiver." And last year, did not happen. If I would have said that this year, I mean, but I said it last year. That's the problem. Last year when no one did anything. So I was a year early on Sutton. This year, I don't know where he ranks, but he's definitely, in my opinion, a wide receiver. Yeah. So
he's.
All right, we got about 10 more minutes. So if you are in the chat, if you have any starter sit questions. Oh, we got one right here. Ryan, Love or Goff? I don't like Goff's matchup this week in Chicago against that defense in the cold on the road.
Windy City.
Yeah, and I'm a Giants fan, so take this with a grain of salt. I think Jordan Love has a good day. I think he has a decent day. That defense it can be really good at times, but Jordan Love, I mean, the past few weeks, I don't think you can bench him at this point if those are your options. I mean, Love has looked incredible. I think you ride that wave, unless he's going up against, one of the premier defenses in the league, which he's not against the Giants. The Giants are decent, but they're not anything that I think is going to stop Jordan Love. He tore up a Chiefs defense last week that's better than the Giants defense, in my opinion. So I would start Love.
But has Love's success hinged on Christian Watson?
I don't think so, man. I mean, the way he's seen the field, last week against the Chiefs, man, what he did was incredible. Like the throws he were making, that wasn't Watson. I mean, Watson was incredible. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I like Love. All right, we got 7 more minutes. 7 more minutes.
I think the Giants beat the Packers.
Do you?
Yeah, close game. Tommy DeVito it's going to be the bash on Tim Boyle that I'd take Tommy DeVito over Tim Boyle in a heartbeat. I was watching the Commanders game a few weeks. It was DeVito's first or second start. He zipped this ball into the corner to Barkley. That was a rope. There aren't a ton of quarterbacks. It could have been a lucky throw, but it was a beauty. And because I had Commanders defense everywhere that day, and my jaw was just.
Oh, I made a mistake. Shouldn't have started. Yeah, Tommy DeVito, man. It's interesting because and that's what makes me. I'm kind of shifting teams here, but it's like with the Jet situation. It's like, how did you guys not score any touchdowns? You have backups like Dobbs and you have DeVito coming in and they're throwing touchdowns. Even Browning last week throwing touchdowns with the backup. And for some reason, the Jets offense can't get off the ground. And you have fantasy players like Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson who are just like dying on rosters because the O-line can't protect and they can't get good quarterback play. It's just shocking to me that like the Jets aren't able to produce anything. They can't get in the freaking end zone. When you have Browning in the end zone multiple times, you have Tommy DeVito, you have all these backup quarterbacks at least doing a decent Gardner Minshew.
He's starter quality. That'd be the ultimate Josh Dobbs test. Put him on the Jets.
Right, and see what he can
do. Because, I wish I had a better understanding of the ins and outs of the NFL. How does Josh Dobbs go on 5 different teams and play great? There has to be something more to it. Is he the coaching, the schemes, how?
I can tell you. He's smart as hell. He's athletic. I couldn't tell you if
and then there's some teams like the Jets that can't ever do anything. The Bears seem like the team that can't ever do anything right.
At the quarterback position specifically. It's like if Justin Fields was on another team, do you think that he would be putting up, the stats that people think Justin Fields should be putting up?
Yeah. If they don't keep him, if the Bears get Caleb or May or Penix, probably get to find out.
All right, we got 5 more minutes here before we log off. Before we do that, though, definitely want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining the show, for asking your questions. We hope we helped you a lot. Hopefully, we didn't stray you in the wrong direction.
Man.
Bo and Brant are typically the host here for Start and Sit. So even though they're not here, we want to thank you for joining us and giving us a shot and rocking with us this week. I know it's a very important week, so thank you for that as well. Bo and Brent will be back next week. They're at the Falcon game. Look for them on TV. I'm sure Brent will be out there with his shirt off.
Yeah, shirtless.
We should have made some type of bet with that, but we didn't. But yeah, 3 more minutes until we sign off. Patrick, any final thoughts about this week?
Hope there's no injuries. No injuries, please.
Yeah, please.
None.
Playoffs start next week. I can't do it. I lost Jonathan Taylor. Christian Watson's out for me this week. Like I just, it's just too much, man. I can't do it.
I hope Edwards-Helaire doesn't burn anybody. I hope no one loses their playoff shot or first seed or something. Hope there's some snow games. I love me a snow game. I don't know if the weather's bad enough, though.
All right. Well, we got in the meantime, we do have another one. It's Zach. Start 3, full PPR. Gibbs versus Chicago. ETN versus Cleveland. Sutton versus Los Angeles. Montgomery versus Chicago. Definitely Sutton.
Definitely Sutton.
I would go ETN. I think whether or not Trevor Lawrence plays, I think they're going to try to run the offense through him, establish the run. So I would go ETN. Now you're just asking which Detroit running back would you rather have? Patrick, you said this earlier, so I'm gonna repeat what you said because I agree with it. I do think that Bears defense, since it is very hard to run against, I do think their running backs may evolve more in the passing game. I would roll the dice on Gibbs over Montgomery this week.
Bears have allowed the 3rd most catches to a running back.
There you go.
Yeah, and the 3rd fewest yards allowed on the ground, 3rd most catches. Give me Gibbs.
All right, another one from Zach. Love versus the Giants or Fields versus Detroit? I like Love this week. I think he's seemed like he has turned the corner. I don't think that Giants defense really worries me. I know he's missing Watson, but I still think he should be fine. Fields is like same old story. Fields, high ceiling. We don't know. I don't like the way they used him last week. I know he had some rushing yards, but the way that they turned him into kind of just like this dink and dunk passer just kind of turned me off. I don't know what the game plan is going to be this week. I don't think it's going to be the same, but I would start Love. I feel more comfortable with the way he's been playing. He's been really hot.
I do like Love over Fields there. It seems like the Bears got DJ Moore and had this grand scheme, and then it didn't go right for a week or two, and forget it.
Yeah.
Weren't you
wide receiver screens and short slants? Passes in the flat. Yeah, I just don't like the way that they used Fields last week at all.
And the weather. If it was in Detroit, I might lean, but just splitting hairs now.
Well, that's a big difference, man. The dome in Chicago out in the cold in December. It's a world of difference, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. We are done here today. Thank you for everybody who joined us. Bo and Brant will be back next week. The Fat Boys will be with you. I am not the one to give food recommendations. Patrick, I don't know if you are, but I'm definitely not. So you're going to have to wait next week for that. Patrick, any last word?
Thanks to Bo and Brant for the opportunity. Good luck to everybody.
Bo and Brant will be back next week.
Yeah, wings sound really good. Wings and maybe
there you go.
Pizza. Yeah, I like wings. Buffalo wings.
Yeah, keep it simple. All right, everybody. Take care. Good luck.
Have a good